Hello from Johnson City, Tennessee. I'm Mark Bryant with our Big South basketball preview series for 2025-26. With me right now is head coach Ronnie Thomas of the Longwood Lancers. Coach, thanks for being here.
Well, thanks for having me.
What first collegiate head coaching job. As a matter, congratulations.
Thank you.
But with that, congratulations, there come a lot of responsibilities.
It does.
So, how has your transition been into that new role, and what have some of the early challenges been for you?
The transition's been seamless, and I say that honestly, and a lot of that has to do with my predecessor, Coach Griff Aldridge, who had a ton of success in this league, but he just put me in a lot of positions and let me have an imprint on a lot of different areas of the program. And it wasn't just basketball. Like in that head coach role, and I've always known it's just not basketball. Basketball's 20% of what you're going to do and what you have to do. And so from just scheduling to donors, he had allowed me to have a big hand in a lot of different things. And then my former boss, Tom Palumbo, who I actually hired as my associate head coach. He has 23 years of head coaching experience. He's been in 3 Division III Final Fours. He's now with me. And so now I'm going through the process. I just finished up with Griff and everything. He's been able to, lend me and teach me, and I got my first boss with me. And so just the process from those two guys, they really prepared me well. And the prepared you can be. I'm a big soccer fan, and Mikel Arteta is a manager. He said, when do you know you're prepared to be the manager? And he just said, you just jump in and you just swim. And you don't know what you're going to be swimming against or swimming into, but you just swim. And it's been a little bit of that, but man, really, really credit a lot, and extremely grateful and thankful for Griff and Tom Palumbo for the way they have prepared me.
Well, talking about that history just briefly, you were on the Longwood staff that won 2 Big South titles. So what lessons from that are you able to carry into what is now your program?
Yeah, I think the biggest lessons that I took in, and you see our mantra a little bit, is like consistency wins. And I think in those years when we won it, obviously the first year we were 15-1, we were pretty consistent, but what we were consistent in, it wasn't just every day we were great, but we were consistent that when things got tough, when adversity came, we stuck together, right? And then on the reverse, that 24 championship run, I think we started the year 11-1, but then we started conference like 1-5, 2-6. And what I learned was that the group decided to reconnect with each other and understand how important it was to be about the team. And so really it's what we're talking about now with this team is like, can we be consistent and can we sacrifice for each other? And that's what we've been talking a lot about as a team. And I won't know if that's clicking fully until we hit adversity. And adversity usually comes as the games start, the lineup changes. And so I'm excited to see how much on that message they're taking in and absorbing. And what their miss is for me to deliver again and deliver in different ways until they get it. And like you've seen, you may get in 2022, you may get it right away and you're 15-1, or you may start the year 1-5 and then you get it and you still go to the NCAA tournament and represent the Big South.
How did this first roster come together for you, and who are the key contributors out of that group?
So it came together, a lot of it, we returned 5 guys, but 2 of those 5 guys were in the portal. They went to the portal when everything went down, but they obviously decided to come back and wanted to be a part of, continue to be a part of Longwood and what Longwood was about. And so having 5 guys back, and 4 of those guys have won a Big South Championship trophy, They know what it's like to cut down the nets in this league. And so that gives us a lot of experience, and they've all played at least, over 18 minutes a game. And so there's experience there, so that's nice to have. So now, rather than just trying to create a brand new puzzle, I was trying to more fit some pieces in because I knew what I had, I knew where those guys could grow. And that helped me a lot. But I did get the job on Sunday and the portal opened on Monday. And so it wasn't a lot of time to think. It was time to act quickly. And but we know we needed 2 new point guards. So we have 2 new point guards coming into this team, and we wanted to add some scoring and a little bit more depth around our front court. And so we've done that, and really excited about the transfers we have coming in.
Who are some of those incoming transfers that are going to make an impact right away?
Yeah, I think from the point guard spot, both Jacoy Hutchison, he's I think for his career, he averaged over 23 minutes a game in the A-10 over 2 years. And so I think he's got a lot of experience and has played a lot of college basketball. And I think that's going to pay dividends for us, especially in that point guard position. And then, Red Thompson's the other point guard who maybe a lot of people don't know, but he was a highly touted recruit, but he went to JMU and played behind 2 NCAA tournament point guards. And so I don't think it was going to be an opportunity for him to play right away. But now he'll get the opportunity to be a big part of it. But we had I think we added a great scorer, a guy with great energy and can light up a gym, and is one of the most confident guys I know in Fats Billups, who transferred to us from VCU. and he can really shoot it. Trying to get him to understand. Also, he can be very dynamic, putting it on the floor, but he's got a great confidence and swagger about himself. But then a lot of just two other guys, and Jalen Payne, who's a JUCO transfer, who's coming to us from and then Elijah Jones, who everyone calls Chicken. So I gotta just say Chicken now. It's a unique nickname. But he's coming to us from, he's a winner. He's at college with Charleston. He was at the best team that Green Bay's ever had. After they I think they were like 363, and then they end up winning 20 plus games with Sunny Day and Swicks. And then he won a national championship at the junior college level. And so he just does, those two guys, Jalen Payne and Elijah Jones, when you describe a teammate, like that's what you want. Yeah. Like that's what you want. And those two guys are phenomenal teammates, and they're just going to make the team better because they're never about themselves, they're all about the team.
Right, well, we look forward to seeing them in action, and they're all going to learn what Big South Conference play is going to be like. But the audience already knows what that's like. What does the non-conference schedule look like for you guys? I believe it includes some Thanksgiving games as well.
Yeah. No, I think we have some great home games. Obviously it starts for us November 3rd. We got to make sure we handle business, with Mary Baldwin. But we got a great opportunity to go play some ACC opponents. We go to Pittsburgh and to Wake Forest. We also have a big opening week, the second week of the season. We have JMU, in-state school coming to JPB. It will probably arguably be the biggest game that we've had in JPB since it opened up, 3 years ago. And that's on a Wednesday. Then we have homecoming on Saturday with Binghamton, coming to town up out of New York in a home-and-home series that, we're finishing up on the second year. But then I think we get to challenge ourselves up at American as well. American was a tournament team last year. Siena probably didn't have the year that they wanted to have, last year, but they returned everything. And I think they're picked one or two, in their league this year. And then and obviously, Maine also joined the tournament as well, they have a lot of, just size and athleticism and play a difficult style of basketball. So it's going to be very challenging, and I think it's going to be a time for us to find ourselves as a team, and then hopefully just to prepare ourselves when we get to conference play.
Well, we wish you and all the Lancers the best of luck. Welcome to the head coaches of the Big South, and thank you for the time, and thank you all for watching another of our Big South previews for 25-26.